So this is a reading goal chart, and the Just Right Independent level is what I can do. The second column is I'm working on. What we do is O goes off, P moves up to the Just Right Independent level, and then Q would go in working on is, and then R would go in the third column, which is my long-term goal.
Our communities of practice this year were focused on three areas, one of them being assessment and reporting, because the Victorian education system was moving to a new reporting format. It was an opportunity for us as a school to say, what would we like to see on our reports? We asked that question of our parent community, and they gave us feedback. And then we said to the students, what's the most important part, of the report that you read it? And they all said key things like, we just look at where the dot is, we don't read the comments and things like that. However, we need to know what the dot means on our report. So we started to look at the matrix that was sent out by the department. We thought, how can we do better?
So we made the lookup matrix to kind of pinpoint where you are now. So we needed the Victorian curriculum to have what content that we needed to learn in order to be at that level. So we made the lookup matrix to kind of have these I can statements that can say or kind of summarize the Victorian curriculum into a student-friendly kind of language.
I'll tell you some things about what I can do. Understand the reasons behind words. I use the text features to help me find information, and I summarize texts that have many events.
They had a student kind of input to the I can statements so that it was actually student-friendly from our perspective, to see if the I can statements were understood.
We sat together and looked at the Victorian curriculum from foundation all the way through to Year 6 and beyond.
Right now it's not across the whole school, it's only still in work in progress, so we're still experimenting with it.
Yeah, and seeing what we could always add and stuff. The grade 2 still have their lookup matrix on hard copy, but we've made a digital version. So you can see over here we have the Victorian curriculum, but they're converted into I can statements that are easier to understand. When you look at the matrix at first, you want to look in what year you are. If I was in Year 6, I would go to, and it was the middle of the year, I would go down to an average, and this is, the I can statements would state what I should be capable of. And if I'm above average, say 6 months above, I might want to go up a level and across to equal to the end of Year 6. So this is what you should be capable of. So if there are things that you can't do, you can set those as your individual learning goals and work towards achieving that level.
Students and teachers can have open at the same time, have an open, transparent conversation and look over certain Victorian curriculum levels, whether it be reading, writing, maths, and look at those key milestones that they need to achieve by the end of the year. So if it's in writing, a student might be at level 4.5, so halfway through Year 4. The teacher and student can have a conversation about what they've achieved thus far throughout the year, and then moving forward, by the end of Year 4, you need to be at level 5. So these are the key descriptors that you need to be able to achieve and work on.
I think one of the biggest impact of going through this process and the work that we're doing alongside our students and with our students and with our community has been in reading and writing and mathematics. We're doing well in both growth as well as achievement data in those areas.
Before we let students in on the secret teacher business, our lessons just went you come in, this is what you're learning. Well, this is what you're going to do, and that's it. There's no why or and then now it's a lot clearer to what we're doing and why and how to complete those tasks.
This makes everything much more clearer on why you're doing it. It makes children enjoy it because they know they're doing this thing for a purpose.
And obviously if they know their goals and where they're heading next, it motivates them to, get there.